Okay, so welcome back. This is a demonstration on how to handle features. You should have a form that looks like this, an egg-shaped form, two pinch pots that you've put together. You should have smoothed the surface out some so that you have a pretty smooth surface. It's very difficult to get a really hyper smooth surface, but if you hold your ball, your double pinch pot, that's what this is called, and you compress the walls like this with your thumb, you can get it pretty smooth just pulling your thumb across the form. Once you get it pretty smooth like this, this is when we're going to start adding features and adding all the little details. Keep in mind, we're still going to work kind of rough and loose. We want some of the details in our features, but we don't want to have all of them perfect because we have to join these things, and this is clay, it's still plastic. Okay, so I've smoothed that surface out pretty well. Now I'm going to start adding these features. Now you saw earlier, you saw my illustration, this one, it looks like this, and all the different features that were on it. There's lots of good stuff going on there. There's a little movie that's got all that, and I talk about it. So we'll get that out of frame. We'll just talk about the different features I'm going to add. The first thing is I'm going to add the jets. And I'm going to look on this body, this egg shape. I'm going to take a regular number 2 pencil. This is a really great ceramic tool. It's my favorite ceramic tool. And I'm just going to put a little mark where I want to add my jets. And based on my illustration, I had 4 in these locations. Now I might put some on the back too. I've made a few extras so that I can put them on. So now I'm going to show you how I made those. Now, I could have done it a bunch of different ways, but all I did was I grabbed a little piece of clay, maybe a little bit more, and I took that clay and I compressed it. And now I feel like I've got maybe a little bit too much. I'm just going to pinch that off and put that over to the side. And I'm going to form that into a small cone. And again, I think I've got too much, so I'll pull a little bit off. Now with this cone shape, I can now take a pencil and I'm just going to drive it through the center. This is going to make it hollow. It'll take some of the weight off. It's kind of messy right here. That's okay. We'll deal with that in a minute. And now I'm just going to take my finger and I'm going to pull backwards like this. And this allows me to put a series of ridges in. And I was kind of playing around with my idea of what I wanted my jets to look like, and I was just goofing off with different tricks and tips and techniques, and this one worked out really well. I like the way it looked. So now I've got these little ridges, and I've got all this messy stuff up in the front, so I'm just going to take my fingernail, I'm going to put it there, I'm going to spin the pencil, pinching some of that clay off, clean the top off, and now I can just slide this thing off. And now I've got this jet. Now it looks rough, and that's okay. We're gonna tune that up a little bit later. But I've got, we'll set that there. I've got a bunch more. I've got a bunch more that I've already made, and I made these all at once, and they're a better size. This one's a little bit big, but that's okay. All right, sorry, that's Miss Grasson. She's the director, and she's helping us out with shooting. So her phone's going off. She's getting texts. All right, I've got my bowl of water over here, and I've got my fork and knife. I've got my number 2 pencil, so I'm in good shape. Now I'm going to start adding these features on. So here where I put my marks, I'm going to take my fork, and I'm just going to scratch the surface. And again, I'm not worried about it being super clean or detailed or tidy. And I'm going to scratch the surface of the bottom of one of my jets. I'll add a little bit of water, and I'll scratch that surface again. Remember, this is scoring. We're creating the slip by adding the water and scoring it again. And now when I put this on, I'm going to stick it on there. I'm going to try to get my fingers into the low areas of the ridges, and I'm just going to push and twist. And then I'm going to come back and just kind of clean that up just a little bit. If I'm pushing backward here toward the form, I'm securing it even better because I'm pushing the clay back into the form. So that means it's bonding really well. Again, I'm not going to worry about all these tiny little details right now. I'm just going to worry about getting it secured. Now I'll go back and I'll add these 1, 2, 3 others, and then I might add a couple on the back side too. We'll come back in just a minute and we're going to talk about how to add those other features. I'm going to go ahead and attach the other jets. I'll be right back.